Well, do you remember Dodgeball? We all played it. Maybe you were the one running to the front, ready to slam your opponent, or maybe you were kind of just hiding in the back, waiting for the game to end.
That would be me. I was that kid. Well, a recent study actually called the game a tool of oppression that should not be played in schools, and some might think that's a little intense. So on to this morning, we're taking a 360 look and found that there are plenty of opinions on this old school game.
Remember, dodgeball is a sport of violence, exclusion, and degradation.
Once a joke from a movie, now the subject of a university study.
3, 2, 1, go!
Dodgeball, a tool of oppression. Canadian researchers say dodgeball, even with a softball, promotes exploitation, marginalization, powerlessness, cultural imperialism, and violence. So is there something about dodgeball specifically that's more problematic than other sports or games? Well, we're getting perspectives from schools, a psychologist, a dodgeball league organizer, and 10-year-old Emily.
We've been doing it now for a couple of years, and it's one of the fun games to run. It's great for teamwork. It's great for exercise.
Adult dodgeball league organizer Mike Ross says there's no reason kids shouldn't play dodgeball and reap all the same benefits of it.
Our matches are only about 45 minutes, but by the end of it, everybody's sweating, everybody's drenched, and had a good time.
Of course, in this friendly game, nobody's actually trying to hurt or humiliate anyone. But that might not be the memory some people have of dodgeball at school. Psychologist Sean Worthy studied bullying in sports. He says any competition can bring out aggression, which may lead to bullying. And dodgeball does have some unique characteristics.
It's one of the few sports where individuals are targeted with something, with an object, right? You can choose teams that are, one side against the other side, and the other side may be people who are less desirable. And so when you really look at it, it is a sport where some of the elements of bullying can be involved.
PE teacher Brad Hull has another problem with dodgeball, the elimination aspect.
And then when they get eliminated, they're just standing there.
He wants students moving. In his classes, they learn the value of physical fitness and positive competition.
On 11 soccer game, I typically do 3-on-3 or at most 4-on-4. I also implement modified rules, so in order for a student to score, everyone on your team has to get a pass. So that way it promotes teamwork and cooperation with students.
Emily obviously enjoyed taking some playful shots at her cousins, but it sounds like in her school, they've learned some things about sportsmanship and friendship.
I would have to say if someone's lonely, if it's a new kid, at least reach out and ask if they want to play or like if they want a friend.
A good lesson to remember, whatever the game. And definitely a lot of opinions about this. We're going to post this story on our Two Works For You Facebook page, and we'd love to get the conversation going on what you think about whether or not kids should play dodgeball. But, I mean, it could happen with any sport. Any contact sport, you could argue that argument, but it can get a little rough sometimes, and that's where, you got to, like, throw a flag on the play or something.
And to me,
too rough.
Yeah, and to me, I feel like it comes down to whenever you're picking teams, and then you're like, who's the last one to be picked? That, to me, is when, the emotional kind of thing comes into play.
It's like a whole psychological thing that kids have to go through.
Right, but, if you're just separated and split, it's just like any other sport. There's contact sports and stuff like that. So, yeah, it is very debatable, so we want to hear from you. We'll go and read those later on today.
Yeah, on our KJRH Facebook page, we'll post that in the next couple of minutes.